Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Leah and today's video is going to be completely unscripted. I usually plan out my videos. I want to talk about boys. I'm seeing a lot of videos of women and women just kind of being hurt by men and feeling very hurt because their expectations have not been met by men.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I had to waste their time because men used to waste my time, like, be completely unavailable, okay?
You know, why is he ghosting me? Why is he talking to 10 different girls? Why is he doing this and that? Why is he, quote unquote, acting like a trash human being? I don't think there's any trash human beings, but you know, it's the sentiment, right? And I think some women have just not received this advice, and I want to give it to them because it's helped me so much.
If you smell like dessert, men won't forget you.
Accepting and learning that sometimes he's just not into you. It's not my own advice. I did not generate this advice by myself. When I was younger, I watched this film which freaking changed my life, and I think that's where I will start this video, and it's called He's Just Not Into You. And honestly, it has helped me understand men so much. I thought men were so complicated before. But after watching that video, I was like, oh, I understand you. I get you now. So if you haven't watched the movie, so not video, movie. If you haven't watched the movie, it's educational. Go watch it, okay? And basically, in that movie, there's like a series of love stories happening. But there's a common theme in these love stories. Basically, A loves B and B loves C and C loves D. And one of the love stories is about this girl named Gigi. And she is Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever his name is, Taylor's ex sister. And her name is Gigi. And she is like very desperate for love. She's a lovely girl. She's nice. She's pretty. She's, you know, she's nice. Like she's a perfectly fine girl. And she just wants to be loved so badly. And she meets this, I don't know how, I can't remember it properly because I haven't watched it in ages, but she meets this guy, and I think he was the roommate of one of the guys who flaked on her. And he basically says to her, if he's not responding to you, if he's not texting you, if he's not calling you, if he's not wondering what you're doing, if he's not making a move, then he's just not into you.
He's treating you like he doesn't give a shit. He genuinely doesn't give a shit.
And she starts making excuses. Like, she's like, no, he might be really busy with work. He might be having lots of family problems. He might be doing this and that. He might be, you know, off on another planet, on another exploration without a phone or any conscience to speak to her. I don't know. She makes all these excuses. And he's like, that's the problem. Every girl thinks she's the exception, not the rule. And I was like, I do think I'm the exception, not the rule. That is true.
No exceptions.
And it's a love story, so in the end she becomes the exception, not the rule, and he's the exception.
You are my exception.
He falls for her and blah blah. That's not what would happen in real life. In real life, I'm doubtful that will happen. Because she eventually like thinks she wants him, and she like starts chasing this neighborhood guy. I'm gonna call him Ben. I don't know what his name is.
Put this stuff in their minds, take each little thing a guy does and then twist it into something else.
She starts chasing him, and she wants him, and he clearly doesn't have feelings for her, but at the end he develops feelings for her, and he tells her, you are the exception. But that movie has a great message, and we see, for example, another story in that is Jennifer Aniston and Ben Affleck. Oh, Ben, shouldn't have used that name. Ben Affleck. And basically, Jennifer makes the move on him. She's the one who, like, got him, you know, she made the move on him, and she wants him to ask her to marry him. Like, marry her, because they've been together for, like, 5 years. I hope this all makes sense. Watch the movie. I'm pulling out this story because she makes the move on him, yeah? And so she basically is telling everyone, like, girls can ask guys out. Like, women can ask men out. Of course, if you want to, you can. I think majority of men, if they really want something, which I'll come back to later, they will do it themselves. But you can ask a man out, that's fine, but you can't expect him to suddenly turn from the passive person in the relationship, that's not how you started, to the aggressor who's going to ask you to marry him. He's the passive person, you are the aggressor in that relationship. If that's how you started, I mean, how can you then go and expect him to be the aggressor? Like, you put the ball in his court, but if you are the one continuously pushing the ball, you can't expect him to suddenly be like, yeah, I want to play and I want to lead.
And she is so frustrated with him because she's like, why doesn't he ask me to be his wife? But it's like,
I think that your issue is,
But sometimes I feel
I'm
like...
gonna tell you what your issue is.
He's a passive idiot. Like, we could have all told you that because you are the instigator of this relationship. He's just along for the ride, you know. It's a great movie, and it brings me to something else. If a man wants you, he most probably is gonna go for it. Even if he's shy, he's going to try and make some kind of move or some kind of indication that he likes you.
Do I make myself clear, you whores?
It's very simple. And if he's not, like, you know, some people like in the talking stage and they're like, oh,
you know, he's saying all this stuff, he's writing all these paragraphs of, you know, emotions.
he's writing all these paragraphs of emotions, we're up all night talking, but he hasn't asked me out on the date, he hasn't, you know, done XYZ. He's not into you as much as you think he is. He's into you to an extent, just not as much as you want him to be, okay? He has not invested anything into you. If a man doesn't do any actions, not talking, I'm talking about like actions, like consistent actions, he's not into you.
I'm not gonna walk home with any men tonight. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, and then I go home to the cats. No.
Like, he's not into you as much as you think, is actually what I should say. He is into you to an extent. He's talking to you. He could be, you know, I think it's very easy to text these lengthy things, which sometimes guys do. They text like very lengthily and then they stop texting and then they text a lot of lengthy stuff again and think, wow, he's being vulnerable with me. That's not vulnerability. Texting, I'm sorry, like, you might be lucky. You might further down the line, you know, you might be the exception to the rule, but it's not good to base your romantic expectations on that premise. He might just like having someone to talk to. It might not be you. You're just a person who's there. He can talk to you. You're there. You know, it's like everyone likes to go on holiday to Italy. Who wants to live in Italy? Not everyone's going to stay and live in Italy, right? They're going to go back home. It's one of those things, like he's taking a vacation with you. I think a lot of women would just have less heartache if they realize words are not actions. And if he doesn't invest and it's not even money, like money's not investment for some men. It is for some, but for some men, it's not an investment. They have money to spend. If he's not investing in you, investing in making opportunities to see you, making opportunities to talk to you, you know, like talk to you, not text you, like actually hear you, actually create those intimate moments where you can like meet and talk and whatever, then he's not. Yeah, I know, it is casualty, it's real tragedy. Sorry, the ambulance is just going by. I'm like, yep, off to take all the broken hearts. He's just not that into you. You haven't done anything, and he hasn't done anything to warrant investment. Just because you're nice, just because you're good, just because you're pretty, guess what? That doesn't warrant anything.
I think a lot of women waste their own time. When you know you don't need to be in that relationship and you stay in too long, waste your own, waste your own time.
I listen to girls say, well, why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? Why isn't he doing this? He's just not into you. I don't know what else to say, because when a man is, he will do freaking crazy things to get you. Pettiness or like the entitlement or the bitterness should come if he has made promises to you. So I think it'd be really clear, like, has he actually promised anything to you? Has he actually made you, like, how has he invested in you? You know, like, a reason to get bitter. This notion of entitlement that a boy has to, like, explain and, like, closure and shit. It's like, what is he gonna say to you? I'm sorry, I just don't like you that much. Like, is that gonna make you feel better? Seriously? Like, how is he supposed to end your situationship? Like, explain to me down below, how do you end a situationship? How do you end, I don't know, how do you end that? Like, how is he supposed to do it the right way? Explain. Like, I don't know. Like, if he's promised you something, if he's lying to you, for example, if he's promised you exclusivity and he hasn't given you exclusivity, then yeah, you can get mad. Like
90% of the time. Your version of 90 anyways is just unacceptable.
He's promised you something. But if he's just talking to you and he decides one day, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh my god, get over yourself.
It doesn't matter. Luckily he left now, not 10 years time. You know, it's so hard to find someone who's gonna want to, like, if you're gonna be in a monogamous relationship and you're gonna be like the traditional way, it's gonna be so hard. You only need one person, but it's gonna be so hard to find that one person who's like, yeah, I'm gonna put up with you for the rest of your life, or that you are gonna put up with that person for the rest of their life. Don't sell yourself short for like a few heartwarming texts or a few, you know, nice flirty things he said.
Everything you're saying is going in one ear and out the other.
I don't understand, like, why are you investing yourself this much into this person? And don't worry, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine, but don't let people convince you he's into you when you're not, when he's not, and then don't get angry because he didn't meet your expectations. It saves a lot of unwanted heartache for no reason. And I'll see you guys soon. So, bye.
Later, losers.